Those look pretty good, huh? Okay, so you want to do your gear oil, your differential fluid. The good news for the 2003 to 2009 4Runners, or the 4th gen 4Runner, is that it's really simple. It's the same fluid all three ways. It's just a different amount per. So I'm going to walk through how to do this. It's gonna be a very straightforward DIY video. I'm making this because I didn't see too much content around it, and I do want to include some footage on the upgrade that you can do to the front differential. We'll get into more details towards the end of this video, and you'll basically see my rationale behind it. If you guys like this video, if you want more DIY content on the 4th gen, please let me know. I noticed that this is kind of the 4Runner that doesn't seem to get a lot of love, kind of like the second one, and I want to make more content on it. So feel free to give me any sort of feedback, but let's show you the parts list and dive into this. All right, go ahead and pause the screen if you'd like, but this is the most straightforward slide I can make in terms of the tools, the parts, the specs that you're gonna need to torque it down to, and I will talk about the upgrade you could do at the end of this. So let's keep it rolling. Now this whole video, I'm gonna be flexing how clean my frame is compared to all you salt state MFs, but the first thing you wanna do is put WD-40 on all of the bolts that you're going to be taking off, but you don't want to round these out. You want to make sure that they come off smoothly, so that's why I'm spraying each of these, and you're going to be able to see on the transfer case here, those are where the fill is always up top and the drain is always down below, and that's how it's going to be for the front diff, the rear diff, and obviously you can see from the transfer case. So to get access to the front diff, you got to take off two skid plates. One's going to be the front one that you usually take off for oil changes. The one that I'm pointing to right here is the secondary one you got to take off. And it's really straightforward. There's nothing too crazy about it. It's just more steps in the process. And once I take this off and knock a few things over, you'll see you get really easy access to the front diff, as you can see right there. We're going to let these bad boys soak and then make our way back to the rear diff, where we have our 24 mil socket and a long breaker bar. I am using this just to break it loose. Make sure you apply some pressure on the drain plug itself. That way it breaks loose nice and easy without rounding it out. Kind of looks like I ran it out from the video, but I didn't. It just broke free, and then you should be able to hand loosen the rest of this off. And the reason why I'm starting with the fill plug before I do the drain plug is pretty self-explanatory, but something that's always good to remind yourself that you do not want to drain your entire diff and then not be able to open the fill plug if you have a lot of rust on it and it's just welded shut through rust. That's a nightmare scenario. Don't do that. I actually did this on the transfer case and then just edited the video to make it look like I did the right sequence, but don't do what I did. All right, now we're on to filling up the oil in the rear. It's just over 3 quarts. I have this 75W-90 GL5 rated full synthetic oil. I used Valvoline because they make these awesome Capri Sun pouches for it, and it's really convenient for getting into tight spaces. Some people have been using hoses and pumps and all that stuff. I just didn't want to deal with that, and I'm glad I didn't, because this was really straightforward and easy. Pro tip here, take a little Allen key, put it up top. You'll be able to see if it's full or not. Really easy way to just make sure that it's topped off and not low. Make sure to use the ribbed gasket for this one, because that's the correct one to put on the rear diff, and then we could make our way to the transfer case. Now you're looking at, on the left side here, the gas tank on my 4Runner, and the transfer case should be pretty easy to find, especially from the footage that I have showing you here right now. Again, I actually took off the drain plug before I took off the fill. I just reversed the order of how I edited this, but breaker bar, same process, same size, still 24 mil. Once we're at the point where we can fill this up, I do want to mention that these take the flat aluminum looking washers instead of the ribbed ones. So if I remember correctly, both top and bottom are just the straight up flat aluminum looking washers. And then I zoomed in on the part where this starts to drip out to signal that this thing's filled up and good to go. We can now move on to the front diff. Remember, we took off the whole guard for this so you can see a lot better. We have 10mm hex bit in there. I hate those because they always tend to brown out, but we hit it with some WD-40 and I think it should be okay, but those are always famous last words. Let's see how this goes. I might just start with the impact, honestly. So part of this is luck of the draw because I do have a California vehicle that, I actually had a couple years in New Jersey, so it saw some weather, but you could probably tell from my frame by now that it's in good shape. So that is helping me a lot. This top one, the fill one, I didn't forget to start with the fill one this time. It was pretty easy to come undone. It took a little bit of muscle, but it felt like the right foot-pounds of torque. I did the front and rear diffs and the transfer case oil 30,000 miles ago. The people who did it prior to me definitely torqued it to spec, and I appreciate that, and that's where I'm thanking it right now. So the last two washers, the copper one goes on the bottom, the crush washer that's silver goes on top. It kind of has like a little rib to it, and we're gonna wrap this job up and do the same method that you saw before. And yeah, this is, I haven't undone this one, but so far it's been pretty straightforward. All right, so I don't think I've ever jinxed something this bad. The drain plug is stuck, and it was literally the last piece to the puzzle. I realized that this is actually torqued to 48 foot-pounds, so it's on there pretty tight. I paused instead of getting frustrated and stripping something out. It's a pretty big hex key, so I thought people would say apply heat, which some did. A lot of others said just hit it with a hammer, and somehow crushing the washer a little bit more helps it release a little bit. So I'm gonna try hitting it with a hammer more. I've never jinxed something this bad. This is ridiculous. I thought I was gonna wrap this up, move on to the next thing tomorrow. It's about midnight right now, but I wanna give this one more go before I fully go to bed and call it a day. So let's see if this works. Okay, let's get under here. Guess what? Oh, your boy got it. Let's go, dude. So no joke, I was using this kind of medium-sized breaker bar and just smacking it while applying torque. I'm shocked that that worked. People swore by it on forums. This is a good reminder. When you get stuck, don't get frustrated. Do some research, because there's more than likely someone that's ran into this, especially with this popular of a vehicle. We can wrap this up now tonight, and I'm so happy about it. All right, let's keep this going. So at this point, I was pretty damn tired, didn't want to deal with this, but we followed the same exact process and got it done. We took out the drain plug, made sure the fill was actually broken loose, but you could actually make it flow a lot easier if you just take that out, as you saw from that part, and then we moved on to the upgrade. Okay, so now you're gonna see from the content right now the differences between the two drain plugs, if you will, and it's pretty obvious. You definitely want to go with something where you can put a socket on it and have a hex head instead of a hex key where you have to get the Allen key and shove that in there and potentially round it out. So that's why I made the choice to go with this modification with the Lexus Model 1. I will put the parts in the description, and I'll also put them right here. These are the part numbers that you need. If you just call a Lexus dealership, you can check before you go in, which is really clutch, and that's pretty nice. That's gonna kind of conclude the gear oil here. I just wanted to make a DIY video again because I don't see a ton of content around the 03 to 09 4th gens. So I want to put my 2 cents in here on how you can do a little modification and save a little money doing DIY stuff. If you guys like this video, please feel free to give me any sort of feedback, whether it's liking, subscribing, it's all appreciated. Next video, I'm probably gonna be talking about the wheels and the tires that I put on my rig. So stay tuned and I'll catch you in the next one.